12-8. All right, here we go. Thank you, Mick. You have to spread more pigeon misinformation on the internet. All right. Let's see what we got here. Oh, just in time.
Tanks are pressing for Stromberg retract.
Okay. So, this is Starlink 12-8, launching out of Slick 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. There's 21 payloads on board, 13 direct-to-cell, 8 Starlink regular V2 minis. This is SpaceX's 20th mission of 2025, and their 454th mission overall.
Stromberg retract has started.
Okay. We are go for hamster strongback retract. 2 clamp arms up at the top of the stack, just below the payload fairing, are going to open up, and the strongback will move back to 87 degrees. The first stage that's flying tonight is booster 1067. It's its 26th flight, which would make it the first SpaceX booster to get this far. Yeah, Stoner, I know what you mean. So right now, second stage is filling up with liquid oxygen, and first stage LOX load should be pretty much good to go at this point. Yeah, Haiku, can you believe that? That first stage has flown 26 times. You can see that it looks like it's got some tiger stripes on it. And the reason for that is because they've been inspecting the welds. They're inspecting the welds on the tanks to make sure the tanks are, well, up to the task. Second flight of the year for 1067. Wasn't the original limit 10? Yep. It was. Was.
Stage 1 LOX load is complete.
There we go. Stage 1 LOX load is complete. We should get the call for Stage 2 LOX load completion in the next minute here. LOX is referring to the liquid oxygen on board that's making that thing smoke right there. It's actually condensation that's happening because the liquid oxygen is so ridiculously cold. It's minus 290 Fahrenheit. Or I believe it's 90 Kelvin. 183 minus 183 C. It's cooling down Falcon 9 so much that it's condensing the ambient humidity in the air, which is why it's covered in ice. Yeah, better.
Stage 2 LOX load is complete.
I got no good aerospace related F-112s to have this be in honor of. Should get up to ground gas closeout here momentarily. Does it actually contract at that temperature? A little bit, Slappy. Yeah, just a little bit. Yep. Yeah, the booster tenses up a little bit.
Ground gas closeouts.
There's the ground gas closeout. What SpaceX is going to do here is you'll see a big vent come from the transporter erector, which is the structure to the left of the rocket. That is venting all of the excess liquid oxygen out of the transporter erector. The reason why you don't want those TEs catching on fire. So they're trying to get all the liquid oxygen out. So they pump nitrogen up the line. and they open a vent at the top,
Falcon
and
9 is in startup.
the nitrogen displaces the liquid oxygen, and then the liquid oxygen, upon hitting the atmosphere, immediately turns to gaseous oxygen. Falcon 9 is now in startup per the launch director here.
Launch
Onboard
director,
computers have primary control of all vehicle functions. Should get a call for go for launch from the launch director here, verifying everything is green.
T minus 30 seconds.
There it is.
T minus 15.
Okay, here we go.
T minus 10.
Pad deluge
9,
system is on. Sound
7,
suppression water system is
6,
activated.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Ignition.
1. Ignition and liftoff. Go Falcon, go Starlink.
Okay, we got an early Saturday morning launch. Starlink 12.8 in the air with booster 1067 doing the lifting work here on its 26th flight.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
Vehicle is executing a pitch
Stage
over
1 propulsion nominal.
and roll. We got a good call for stage 1 propulsion, indicating that all 9 engines on Falcon 9 are performing beautifully. Falcon 9 flies into the clouds, lighting up the sky in Cape Canaveral. Should be hearing a call for power and telemetry.
Power telemetry nominal.
There it is. Vehicle should be breaking the sound barrier right about now. Ish. I didn't call it. It's definitely...
Vehicle is supersonic.
Yeah, a little late on the call, but all right. Maximum dynamic pressure would be the next call here.
Max Q.
There it is. That's peak aerodynamic load being exerted on the vehicle from aerodynamic compression forces. Now, if that was too long of words, and it is Friday night, so some people I saw in the back went, yeah, okay. Falcon 9 can't move the air out of the way fast enough, so they throttle down the first stage engines. The dynamic pressure gets built up on the top, and it tries to accordion the rocket. You don't want that, believe me. Played too much Kerbal to know you don't want that. So we should get a call for second stage engine chill here very soon. Why not just make it pointier? Believe it or not, at supersonics, once you're getting into supersonic and hypersonic speeds, supersonic, a bulbous shape is generally better. A more pointed thing will actually heat up a lot more. Yeah, it's actually really bad for it. Should be coming up on the 9 engines in the first stage shutting down here.
Main engine cutoff.
There it is. Main engine cutoff, or MECO. Should get a stage separation here.
Confirmed.
There you go. 1067 has delivered
MVAC
26
ignition.
second stages into space since 2021. Got a good upper stage ignition. The Merlin vacuum nozzle lighting up to shed excess heat through black body radiation. Basically, that engine glowing is how it's cooling itself. You can see some of the second stage plume here interacting with first stage. There, that's what that flashing is on the left side. Payload fairing jettison.
Bearing separation confirmed.
We got a good PLF jettison here from the second stage. Payload fairing is the aerodynamic cover that protects those satellites on the way up. Yeah,
All
Everest.
vehicles are on nominal trajectories.
There we go. The first stage is going to coast here for a little while. You can actually see the moonlight lighting up the tops of the clouds there as the first stage coasts. First stage is basically just using its onboard attitude control systems to keep it on an even keel in preparation for its entry burn, which should be happening at about 6 minutes. Right now, the first stage is just following its ballistic arc. Second stage, meanwhile, it's crossing almost 10,000 kilometers an hour here on its way up into orbit. It'll keep doing that burn for probably another 4 minutes. Oh, nice, Slappy. There you go. So where are these two cameras? It always confuses you. D-Money, this one over here on the left is at the very top of the inner stage. It's that kind of black ring or black column at the top of the first stage where the second stage kind of sits. The camera's at the very top of that looking back down at the grid fins. The second stage, believe it or not, and SpaceX does flip back and forth between the cameras during the cast. The second stage has two cameras that are looking back on either side of the second stage. They're looking back at the nozzle. What those cameras are there for is to make sure that the glow, is actually nice and uniform on that second stage engine. Why? Well, like I said, that second stage engine, the second stage engine nozzle is made out of niobium. It's made out of, okay, so but what is that? What does that mean? It's a special type, it's not just niobium, it's a special type of metal alloy that basically sheds heat through light. Because remember, up in the vacuum, there's no way to keep the engine from melting itself. This is the only way to do it. I mean, you can, there's other ways, obviously, like a regeneratively cooled engine or something. But with this particular case, the engine glow is how well the engine is actually cooling itself. Now, if you're a propulsion nerd like me, the Merlin vacuum does have
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
a closed cycle recirculation mechanism, which is why the front of this nozzle is dark. But yeah, those two cameras on the stage are looking at that nozzle. Now over here, we have my favorite part, supersonic retropropulsion. Falcon 9 is firing one engine and then two more on either side to make a total of 3 to shield itself coming back down through the atmosphere. Not only does this slow the Falcon 9 down, but if you can notice, the camera's getting covered in soot. It's flying through its own exhaust. Flying through its own exhaust is actually keeping Falcon 9 cool and preventing re-entry heating from getting too bad. Now, it is night, so we should be able to see some plasma accumulation starting on the grid fins over there. But the entry burn is there to protect Falcon 9 and make sure it makes it through most of the heating from re-entry. It's using the engines as a heat shield, which is still, to this day, one of the coolest things. Yep, there's some plasma accumulation over there on the left. Nozzle cam must be nicely cased up for heat resistance. There's no need. There's no need for heat resistance
Stage
here.
1 transonic.
Supersonic, you're in the vacuum. There's no need for it. There's no heat transfer between here. That's why this engine has to glow to shed heat. It sheds heat through radiation, not convection. If the second stage was operating in the atmosphere, then yeah, you might have a problem. But vacuum is a great insulator, right? So because of this, these cameras, they ain't getting hot. They're attached to the LOX tank. They're not getting hot.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Okay, we got a landing burn on the first stage. Should be able to see the drone ship under the left grid fin here. Grid fins steering Falcon 9 down until it gets to the point where the aerodynamic surfaces aren't doing anything. In which case we get landing leg deploy, grid fins locked into position. Falcon 9's on thrust vector control and attitude control systems to touch down, dead
Stage 1
center,
landing confirmed.
on the drone ship on a short fall of gravitas.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Booster 1067 completing its 26th flight. Pretty cool. Stage 2 is in terminal guidance. We should have SECO 1 here and a call for nominal orbit insertion. Oh, some tape came undone over there. When we were done, oh, that's looking up the interstage, dude. Yeah, yeah. They cut off the nominal orbit insertion in SECO, so we didn't get to see the staging velocity. So here, let me go back and show you. So this camera is the one you're talking about. This is looking up the business end of the second stage nozzle, dude. Watch. Watch over here. Ready? Yeet! Look, it's looking up the second stage nozzle. That camera is down there. It's actually right. It's over here somewhere. It's down here at the bottom of the interstage. See? Watch. It's looking up so they can see the ignition on the second stage. Ready? Woohoo! See that? Isn't that cool? That's so good. Dude, I remember when we first when they first showed that camera. I forget what mission it was, but we first saw like looking up the business end of a rocket engine igniting in space. And all I could think of was that old Saturn V footage, the staging footage from the Saturn V. It was just so cool. You know, now we see it almost every day, but it's still cool, man. All right, thank you so much. I've always wondered, but it slips my mind doing re-entry every time. Yep. All good, man. And that camera lasts for like 7 seconds under full rocket blast. Yep. Pretty cool, huh? So there you go. The streak is still alive. I've only missed one, so dang 3:30 in the morning launch when I had to get up and do something the next day, which really sucks, but what are you going to do? All right. Well, that was Starlink 12-8. I hope you enjoyed the coverage. Guys, that's going to do it for me. I have stuff to do this weekend. Primo let me work today, so I got to take her out for Valentine's Day tomorrow. So I hope you guys all have a good weekend. Watch the Daytona 500. Should be pretty fun. Close out with this.
Audible Inc. presents Go the Fuck to Sleep. Written by Adam Mansbach.
Yeah, we'll do that. Who should I put money on? Hamlin. I think Denny's going to take one. And I don't like Denny, but I think he's going to take one. Either that or someone's going to crash him out. But anyway, have a good night, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great weekend. I will see you guys on Monday. I'll see you on Monday. Keep playing it. Why do you do this to me? Why do you do this? I'm trying to go to sleep.
Narrated by Samuel L. Jackson.
The cats nestle close to their kittens. The lambs have laid down with the sheep. You're cozy and warm in your bed, my dear. Please go the fuck to sleep.
Okay, I'm gonna take his advice. Good night, everybody. I'll see you on Monday. Thank you very much for watching.